Namaste children. So children, today we are again with the next part of the chapter Federalism. In my previous class I discussed about what is federalism, and we also discussed that why need of federalism was felt in India. Then we discussed about federalism and its features. Children, these things I have already taught you in my previous video. This is just a revision class. So we will discuss each and everything in brief. So, as in a previous class, we discussed about what is federalism. As if you remember, once again I will revise. Federalism means when power is taken away from central government and distributed to other constituent units, it is known as federalism. When it was decided by a constitution makers that federalism will be practiced in India, some of our leaders thought that there will be conflict among the people in India between state and center. But you see, the result is not so. Today, all the states are living peacefully with each other. There is no conflict among the people. Few exceptions are there, but rest, each and every in each and every state, people are living peacefully, and they cooperate with each other for the development of the nation. So, federalism is being practiced in a nation where central and state government are independent of each other. Even in case of election, elections are held separately in center and state. And you know very well that in our state, Bihar, elections are going to be held after few months. So these things we have done in a previous video. And today we'll proceed with the next part, that is what makes India a federal country, and other is how federalism is being practiced in India. So in this part we will discuss about the 3 points. The first is linguistic states, the second is language policy, and the third is central state relationship. Now let us discuss in short one by one all these 3 points. First is linguistic states. Our constitution makers, when a constitution was made, they decided that the states of our country will be divided on the basis of language. And you know, you are seeing also that in different states, different languages are spoken. In Maharashtra, Marathi is spoken. In Gujarat, Gujarati is spoken. In Punjab, Punjabi is spoken. So, the states are divided on the basis of language. And this is known as linguistic state. And as I taught you in my previous video that you see that after independence, before few years, boundaries of various states, they have changed. You have seen that various states have been divided. Bihar has been divided into two parts, Jharkhand and Bihar. Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. And Uttar Pradesh also divisions are done. So various other states have been added to our country before some years. So this is known as what? Linguistic state, because states of our country are divided on the basis of language, and people of different states, they speak different languages. So this is the first point, how federalism is being practiced, that is linguistic state. Second, language policy. Now, very simple, as we studied in a previous chapter, that is power sharing. We had seen that in Sri Lanka, they were rigid that only Sinhalese will be the national language, and an act was passed in 1956, and it was announced that only Sinhalese will be spoken in Sri Lanka, and Sinhalese was the national language. But as far as our country is considered, we are very flexible on this aspect. In India, we don't have any national language. First, it was announced that after independence, Hindi will be the official language. But many states of our country, they reacted. For example, the southern states, Bengal, they thought that what was the demand, that the people of those states could not understand Hindi. So a revolution started in the states. And due to this, along with Hindi, English was also declared as official language. Now in offices of India, work can be done in Hindi, English or in the regional languages. So our government, our leaders, were very flexible on this aspect of language policy. We are never rigid that only Hindi will be spoken in our country. Along with Hindi, other languages like English and other and regional languages are also being given importance. As I told you in the previous video that there are various languages which are registered, isn't it? And in this registered languages, you can give your competitive examination. You can give your examination. It is not compulsory to give in Hindi or English. You can use this registered or recognized languages. So this is a language policy which is made by our leaders, or it is mentioned in our constitution. So children, we have discussed about linguistic policy and linguistic states and language policy. Now the third aspect, the third point that we are going to discuss is central state relationship. Now what is this central state relationship? Now central state relationship means practice of federalism is only possible if central state relationship are better in our country. This just we can go to the past, what we saw. In past, only Congress party ruled the country. In center also Congress was there and in state also Congress was there. When Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was Prime Minister, when Mrs. Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister, and various Congress leaders were there. Children, it is natural that when in central and state, parties will be same. Knowingly or unknowingly, directly or indirectly, there will be some interference in the state government. You can take many examples. In Uttar Pradesh, BJP government is there. In center also BJP is there. So you saw that when the matter was there after election, it had to be decided that who will become chief minister. At that time, various important leaders of BJP from the central, they came in Uttar Pradesh, they did a meeting and then it was decided. In case of Gujarat also, where BJP ruled state is there, in that state also, in various policies and programs, there is interference of central government. So, we have seen that when in central and state same parties rule, federalism is not practiced in a better way. Some interferences are there. But after that, era came when which type of government were there? Coalition government were there. In coalition government, the parties were formed. The government was formed by support of different regional parties. And at that time, in center, different parties were there and state were ruled by different parties. So at that time, proper practice of federalism was seen. The state government did not allow any interference of central government. So this is the scene in case of practice of federalism. In case of practice of federalism, what is seen that when central and state government different parties are there, it is practiced in a better way, and if same parties are there, it is not practiced because some interference is there. So we have completed the three points in brief. I have explained in more detail in my previous videos. You can see and you can take from the school library. So we have just revised these 3 points, and in exam the questions can come separately also, that write short note on language policy or what is the language policy of our country. It can also come that what is linguistic state. Then a question can come that how central state relationship is linked with practice of federalism. So this thing we have discussed today. Now one important point of this chapter is left, and that is two roots of federalism. Two roots of federalism means two types of federalism. Children, there are two types of federalism. One is coming together federalism and the second is holding together federalism. Now what is coming together federalism? Coming together federalism is federalism in which various federations, small states, they have come together, small countries, for the purpose of safety of their sovereignty, and as they are small in size, they feel that if they will be united, if they will form a big unit, they will be safe, nobody will attack on them, they will be sovereign, isn't it? And they can take their own decisions. They have united themselves so that they can come under one head. But they are separate of each other, they can take their independent decisions. You can take example of country like USA. So this is example of coming together federation. This is the first type of federation. Second, holding together federation. What is children holding together federation? Holding together federation is that federation where the country is divided into different states, and in this the central government is more powerful than state government. Just point out, this point is very important. In coming together federation, all the federations, they have got equal power. Nobody is more powerful. But in case of holding together federation, central government is more powerful than state government. So the best example are India, Belgium, Spain. These are examples of holding together federation. And here the main difference is central government is more powerful than state government. In India, you can see that many a times central government takes decisions in that you see that many a times the state governments are being dismissed by the center, isn't it? President rule is been implemented. Here what you see that central government is more powerful, but in case of coming together federation, this is not the case. Here all the federation are having equal power, isn't it? So these are the two types of federation: coming together federation and holding together federation. In exam, the question can come from this portion. First, the question that can come is, what are the two roots of federalism, and discuss them. This question can come in category of 5 marks. Then a question can come, differentiate between coming together federation and holding together federation with example. So don't forget, in this type of questions you have to explain also, you have to differentiate also, and you have to write examples. Like I have given you example of Spain, India, USA, all the examples you have to mention. And this question can come in category of 3 marks. Then it can also come in category of objectives or 1 marks. That what are the two types of federation? If it comes in 1 marks, you have to write only, you have to name them. That is, the two types of federation are coming together federation and holding together federation. So it can come like this also. So by this we have completed the revision of this lesson, and once again I will just tell you which type of questions can come from this portion, and this will be a homework also. Whatever questions I am telling you, you note down, and that questions you have to do in your revision copy. Okay? So the first question I will speak slowly, just you note down if you are having the copy nearby. See, question number 1. Define federalism and discuss its features. Children, don't do mistake of just memorizing 5 features. See, if you will memorize 7 features, you will remember 5, because mostly you have to write 5 features if it comes of 5 marks. But if you will memorize only 5, there are chances that you will forget 2 or 3. So you have to learn all the features, because I have explained you in my videos. Second, how federalism is in practice, that we have discussed, state list, union list. Then it comes that what makes India a federal country, that also we have discussed. Then question can come, just now we have discussed that. Write short note on central state relationship, write short note on linguistic state. Then objective question can come, how many languages are registered, what is the official language of our country, what is linguistic state, why do we need federalism. This type of questions can come. Then question can come, write short note on central state relationship and what are its impact on implementation of federalism. This thing also we have discussed. Then a question can come, what are the two roots of federalism, that is coming together federalism and holding together federalism. So in that you have to write the difference. So these are the list of questions that can come in your exam. So make a separate copy, or when you make a separate copy, at least you write 20 MCQs, and after that you revise all these questions, because these are the questions that mostly comes in your exam. If you will do all these questions, you will complete the chapter. If from any part question comes, you can write it easily. So by this we have completed the revision of this chapter. In my next video, we'll start the revision of the new chapter of economics, that is money and credit. Okay, because these are the two lessons which will come in political science. The chapter gender, religion and caste has been excluded. Thank you, children.